to the third episode of Aussie Legends TV. This episode, I will be interviewing the former leader of Order 66 and IPW South Pacific champion, two-time hardcore champion, three-time tag team champion, and IPW heavyweight champion, the manager, the owner of IPW, the big man himself, R.I.P.
Okay. Cool. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for being my next guest.
Not a problem, man. I'm actually so stoked to be here because I'm a big fan of your work. So I'm really honoured to be a part of it.
I'm a fan of you too. Like I remember going with my friends to all the shows, and you said like welcome to the Hello Kitty Foundation, something like that.
Right. Yeah.
It was so confused.
My character RIP can get pretty confused when he's off his meds. So yeah, sorry about that. I get a bit confused sometimes.
Didn't help that it was one of my friends' first time experiencing wrestling.
Oh wow, cool. Well, I'm glad to assist him on his Hello Kitty adventure. So that's great.
So my first question is how did you join IPW? Like how did you find it?
IPW used to do shows. Hang on, I'm just thinking where was it? They did shows in a basketball stadium in Southport, and then we went. I went to a few shows there. I went to a few shows at the Nerang Bicentennial Centre, and I just thought they were awesome. I had a lot of friends, a group of us. We used to screw around to do, stupid shit in the backyard, whatever. And we just decided, look, let's give it a real go. So we head to the gym and we met Peter Ball, Hawk, and he took us in, and it was awesome because we already knew all the guys there, kind of like how you know all about the guys who are on our shows now. We were like that. We were fans. So to train with those guys was just an out-of-body experience. It was amazing.
Would we know those names you worked out with?
Yeah. So the most hands-on coach, like the most who really, really worked with me was Ash. And then there's the likes of Jackaroo, Sweet Ass, BJ Blade later in my career a little bit. But yeah, the whole group of them.
Yeah. And last time we talked, you said you didn't debut at Santa Rumble, but in a tag team?
A tag team?
Or was that...
At Santa Rumble?
No, you got the choice to a debut at Santa Rumble, was that?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah, so I actually was supposed to debut a year earlier than what I debuted, but I turned it down just because if you're going to do something, you want to do it right. You don't want to be rushed. And so the option Hawk gave me was you could go out there and make your debut and just be one amongst 20, 25 guys in a rumble, or you could go out there and try and have an impactful debut when you're more ready. And I thought about it and I'm like, no, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna train more, train harder, because when I was really training hard, I was training 5 nights a week. Because Hawk was actually living in the gym. Yeah, so a few times I even stayed overnight and slept in the ring, and then woke up, trained again. So yeah, I was doing 5 nights a week to really have a really good debut. And then I debuted, and it was like every debut wrestling match, first time ever match, it was crap. No one's amazing in their debut. There's always room for improvement. But yeah, so Santa Rumble was initially one of my debuts, and then no, we pushed it back. and it was the right choice because I was more established.
Yeah. And this morning I actually got to talk to Bojack and got his side of the story. But what's your side of Order 66?
I don't know. We were intoxicated for a lot of that run.
You did not
No.
mention that?
No, okay. No, not on shows. But Bojack and I, he's like a brother to me. I love him to death. If I could marry a dude, it'd be that dude. And I know he'd say the same about me, which is nice. So, yeah, we were really close. I trained Bojack, saw a lot of potential in him. I even so much potential that I took him away from other classes and also did one-on-one training with him just because I thought he's a heck of an athlete, hilarious dude, the same personality as me. Yeah, this dude, we're going to do something together. And yeah, so I had his debut match, and then we wanted to do something different, and we're both big Star Wars fans, so we thought, let's create a faction and we'll call ourselves Order 66. So I believe I had a match with Reaper. I'll go into more detail than what I did last time. So Reaper and I had this 3-month feud, and he was beating me in multiple matches, and I love Reaper. I've had some really great matches of Reaper. He's another really good worker, and we had this one match, and like, you might have been there, mate. I don't know, but he jumped off the roof onto me. We had a barbed wire plywood that we bumped on. I pile drived him through a table. So we have this legendary table in IPW, and it's never been broken.
Oh, okay.
So, and the table's name is Christine.
Okay.
And Christine has never been broken ever. It's been around for, it would be about 15 years. And people would jump off ladders. It was set on fire, but it would never break. And in that same match, I gave Reaper a pile driver off the apron, and Christine finally broke. So I was so happy. But anyway, I had this match with Reaper, and at the end, because Bojack's his teammate, he runs out to save Reaper when I'm about to kill him, and then he turns on him, and then he drops to his knees, and I take off Bojack's mask.
Yep.
And basically, we had this gimmick where he'd carry around his own mask like it's a scalp.
Yeah.
You know, and show it off. And yeah, he joined me, and we were Order 66. And I think the original idea was RIP was supposed to be like the director and the boss of the group.
Palpatine.
But, yeah, but I don't really want to do that. RIP can't. Hey?
Fun version.
Yeah, and like RIP doesn't boss around anyone. RIP can't even put his clothes on in the morning. He needs help, you know. So I think it turned into me being the hype man for Bojack, and it worked really well. We had some really awesome moments in that team and some really fun times.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And one of the biggest moments in any wrestler's career is when you win your first championship. Do you remember what was running through your head?
Yeah, so we were cleaning up the gym one day, and there was this old felt box. It was like had Egyptian inscribings all over it at the gym, and I lifted up the lid, and inside was a whole bunch of props from wrestling. You know, could have been a barbed wire bat, or you know, some brass knuckles. There's all these different toys in there, and of course they're all 100% real. But anyway, dug to the bottom, found this hardcore title, And I'm like, oh, wow, look at this. And Hawk's like, oh, I forgot about that. Like, we need to bring that title back. And because it was really popular. And so we advertised it, had a lot of feedback. Like, a lot of people were keen to see the hardcore title on shows. So the first two people to challenge for it, for the vacant hardcore title, was myself and Slam and Sam. Slam and Sam is just a sweetheart. He I got a lot of love for Sam because when I came into wrestling, he's just such an approachable, kind person. He was really good to me, so I was really happy to be working with Sam. We had the match, lots of weapons. There was a table. There's street signs. He hit me once with this street sign. It had his name on it. It was Slam and Sam. I still have the street sign actually in the shed, and he hit me so hard. He knocked me out, and so I'm actually on my feet, unconscious, fell backwards onto the ropes, bounced off the ropes, like my upper back bounced off, and I suddenly, I guess, came back and fell to my face, and I'm like, oh, how am I going to finish this match? But anyway, the match continued, and I grabbed him, I think, for a choke slam and put him through the table. I remember Sam didn't want to jump for it to take the bump on the table, so he was a bit scared of the table. So I remember I had to force him through. But yeah, once he went through, I won the vacant hardcore title, and it was an awesome moment. Yeah, it was really cool. I think the best thing about wrestling in the 2000s for the IPW guys is after your match, you go back to Pete, you go back to Hawk, and you either get the quiet nod of approval, or you get the death threats and the you're a piece of crap, do better, blah, blah. And you know what? I know I'm not the only one. We all miss that because it was unfiltered criticism. It was direct, and it made you improve. And nowadays, you go in the back and you ask for feedback. Everybody just tells you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And I have no respect for that at all. I think the way Hawk did it, yeah, it was flawed. Maybe you shouldn't do the name calling, but you learnt. And I also, nothing beats when Hawk has some tears in his eyes and he gives you a little smile and a nod and saying, well done. I really, really miss that. I think about that every week. So, yeah, the best feeling in the world.
Sounds very special. And talking about that, when you became the owner of IPW,
Yeah.
what was your first day like? What was your first decision looking in?
So Hawk had to step away from wrestling. He just, the new environment of pro wrestling had completely changed. The landscape had changed. He stepped away, and someone had to step in to his shoes. Otherwise, everything we built would fall down. Cruz was offered to run IPW. Cruz, because he paved the way for all of us with Hawk. But he had done his time, so he was finished too, with at least promoting. So the next person in line was me, and he offered me nothing but support. He gave me the reins of IPW. My first bit of business, I believe when I took over IPW, it was the same night Jesse Love and CJ signed up.
Oh, okay.
And so they were rookies. Jesse Love was a kid who just finished school, lived in Mackay, and decided, I'm going to move to the Gold Coast. He moved to the Gold Coast just for IPW, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
So he drove all the way, and I met him. And so, the first bit of business, I guess, was signing CJ and Jesse to IPW and getting them trained.
Yeah, that's awesome decision. Like Jesse Love is doing amazing. He had the return to IPW,
Yeah,
and
so it's so good to work with him again. Yeah,
yeah, it was so awesome. Like after the show, I remember walking out and I saw CJ with a group of people, and I
yeah.
got him to like sign the poster. And
Mm.
I remember it completely shocked me. He just went, "Oh, you're Joe Tucker."
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
See, you're famous too, man. Are you wearing a Bojack shirt?
yeah. From last
Oh, you
interview.
little Mark. Look at you, hey?
Yeah, I did it for the last interview.
Oh, excellent, man. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, CJ is another one with the audience. He's got such a connection to the audience. They love him. We love him, and he's done some awesome things. The both of them have.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like you were performing at my old primary school, William Duncan, and then you went Seabus Super Stadium and Dream World. Yeah, with 500 people. Um, how did that all happen in that timeline?
Um, So, firstly, I want to say William Duncan was an amazing venue for us because it could hold so many people. You know, we've had 500 people in there. We had some amazing shows, and all of Australian wrestling neglected to ever watch them. But there've been some really amazing matches in that venue. So I do want to say thank you to William Duncan because they were awesome with us. Had some awesome moments there. But in the last year or so, I'd been so the Titans took from me contacting them. It took about 3 years
Oh wow.
to get that going. It was constantly checking in with them and trying to get our names out there. And it's only because our business model improved and they really invested in us because of how we were presenting, how our shows were looking, and all that. So that was one thing. But we had Susan and Shane. Shane used to wrestle as Poison. Join the management team, and so along with my wife Taryn, so we all run IPW collectively. With them on board, with doing some really killer shows at William Duncan, it caught the eye of Dreamworld. And Dreamworld was seeing that we were getting a bit of momentum. They had come to some shows as fans as well, which is cool. And they wanted us at Dreamworld. They were really persistent. And yeah, we head to Dreamworld. It was a lot of work, a lot of like risk assessments and inductions of contractors and all sorts of crazy things had to get this gig. Um, but anyway, we got all that done, and yeah, our first show at World of Dreams, we drew nearly 500 people, and or was it over 500? I forget. But yeah, it was a huge success. And then as soon as that happened, I think everyone realized IPW is not fucking around.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got attention from even more attention from the Titans, even more attention from visiting companies from overseas. Like I've talked with AEW, and they brought out Tony Storm to our gym. That was awesome. And so now that's opened up a line of communication
Forbidden
with
door.
AEW. Hey,
The forbidden door.
yeah, it's cool. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I remember just going to the shows with my friends, and it was just a lot of fun. And I remember the day I found out I was at Dreamwood, and I couldn't believe it. And went there, and the crowd was way bigger, way more merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't the one mainly screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently,
it's definitely changed.
yeah, because I don't really remember. I only remember like one little memory, but when I was like really little, my parents took me to one of the shows. It was like a 8-man tag, and they were like handcuffs and tables. And I remember thinking I went to WWE
Yeah, yeah,
because
it definitely was at WWE.
I did
No, but
yell out, "Let's!" apparently I really hurt my voice, and
Yeah.
I was going for the Undertaker.
Oh, well, that could have been,
Ash.
was it Ash?
Yeah. I
Ah,
can't really think. It would have been Ash or Reaper. That's what the
yeah.
only two. Because I looked at the timeline and they were both on the show that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, that was at William Duncan, was it?
Yeah.
Crazy times at William Duncan. But the thing is, I think um, it was a typical indie show at William Duncan. It's independent wrestling, still put on quality matches, but yeah, it was lawless. It was crazy. I think what we're doing at Dreamworld right now, that's not independent wrestling. That is that is proper sport entertainment. The amount of thought and planning that goes into putting on shows of that caliber. Yeah, real credit to the team that we have.
Like you got the wrestlers like Zeke, EC Diamond, Jesse Love, Chad Atlas, and you even had the feud with Chad Atlas and Sledgehammer.
Yep.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of big names now. These guys have really come out of their shells at Dreamworld, and I'm very proud of them all.
Yeah, like you have wrestlers from the top 80 Australian wrestlers in 2024.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah, cool.
completely different, and it's amazing.
It
And
is very amazing.
the night you came out at Santa Rumble,
Yeah.
if you can retell that story.
Yeah. So there was a referee mistake in the opening match of our latest Santa Rumble. Look, accidents happen. It happens on WWE all the time. It wasn't an accidental count. It was just poor work by the referee, maybe a little bit, but also the timing of an interference. Everything was just crazy all over the shop. And anyway, uh, basically Toa got screwed. He it really looked like he was going to win. The referee was messing about, and the interference was late. It was all over the place, and so Toa got screwed. He literally the crowd were all cheering for him so much. He was so over, and then that happened. It wasn't good for Toa. And so Toa's backstage. He's so upset, like, oh, like I've let my people down, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm also hearing the commotion from the first match, like whilst I'm watching that match, because we have like a gorilla position. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, the crowd really want more Toa. So I'm in just some really like daggy clothes because I was doing ring maintenance right before curtains open. But I'm just thinking I need to go out there right now, get on the microphone, and put Toa in the Rumble. And because that's what the fans want, they want to see him in there. We already had so many people in the Rumble. I didn't have room for him, but I just had to make allowances. So I grabbed the microphone, head out there. They played my music. It was just Chad and I talking and arguing on the microphone. All of that was 100% real. Like we were just bickering and arguing and making. My goal was to make sure Toa got put in that Rumble. So I'm so glad he did get in it. Unfortunately, he didn't win. But yeah, it was a nightmare of a situation because we had to move all these things around. It was crazy.
Yeah, like play
But
my
yes,
music when you're walking out.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was crazy. So and also like no one knows who I am. Like this is um, I'm different to Hawk because everyone knows Hawk's the boss. You know what I mean? When he was running it, but I've kept very private about how I run IPW, and this is just from past experience. You don't want people knowing all your business, so
yeah,
I've kept very quiet and done things behind the scenes strictly. But this was a moment where I had to step up and do something, and yeah, so now I'm out in the public, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's known that I run it. So I'm just going to go with it for now.
And what does IPW mean for the community? Like, how do they contribute? Because we were talking about that last time about like charities and
Yeah. So, look, we've got private discussions with NDIS providers who come into shows and participate in our shows, and they can be handicapped. They could have maybe some psychological things going on, whatever. We always you treat them as priority and make sure they're accommodated at IPW. We've done stuff with the vision impaired in the community. We've done stuff for oh, God, I've actually forgotten the name of the charity, but a New South Wales charity who come out at least once a year to our shows, and yeah, that's how I guess we give back. But a lot of organisations independently organise to head to our shows, and so we have, like, for instance, Montrose Arthritis. They lined up for a show once, and we didn't even realise. We said, "No, you guys don't pay. You guys come in. You guys are supporting us. This is awesome." So yeah, we're always open to give back to various charities.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's one of the most important things you
yeah,
guys are doing, and just putting on a show every night you're out there.
yeah.
And in your career, would you change anything, or is this?
Oh, that's a tough one, Joe.
You asked me to go hard.
Yeah, mate. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I want your questions to be so brutal. I want to be able to blade off them. Okay. So, no. Okay. What would I change? There was a group of us heading to Japan in 2009, and it was like, Josh, you should go. Josh, let's go. I think they were going to Taka Michinoku's school, Michinoku Pro. And I always thought, what if? But I was I was too concerned about drinking and the nightlife and all that sort of stuff that I didn't prioritize that. But it is what it is. I don't want to live life in regrets. Yeah, I think in my career, yeah, I really don't know. Like, yeah, I definitely, I would have asked more questions of Hawk. I would have picked his brain even more. Like, I remember one time he's sitting at home. He is already retired. I'm running things. And I just felt like asking him questions. So I asked him questions, and we talked for 3 hours. Like, he taught me so much just from that one conversation. And I know that he has thousands of more lessons to have taught me. So I wish I had more time to learn from him. But what I did learn was the most invaluable information you could ever get. And Tony Storm says the same thing. Hawk was nuts, but he also, 9 out of 10 times, he was completely right about the wrestling world, and his advice was invaluable. So yeah.
And what's your favorite moment in your career, like wrestling to management?
Um, Geez, there's been so many. I could give you heaps. I'll give you a few that, like, they're different.
Yep.
So, like, one of my favorite ribs. I love messing about. I think being the boss now, I miss out on that a little bit. I miss being one of the boys and being a part of the locker room. I miss, like, having my bag on a chair and everyone knowing that that's my chair and I'm going to go sit down in the locker room and get ready to go out there. But anyway, yeah, I love to play jokes and all that stuff with the roster. I think it was the first couple of years of me running things of IPW. I'm not part of the locker room anymore, but I still bloody miss the jokes. So I'm thinking, let's think of a really good prank. And so, do you understand the concept of a lumberjack match, bro? You understand the concept? No. So, funny thing is, the referees don't understand the concept of a lumberjack match. And I actually realized that on the day of a show. So, we're booking a lumberjack match. It was Bojack versus Scorn, and I'm managing Bojack. And I'm thinking, how can I really mess with one of the lumberjacks? And I'm looking around and I see the referee, Ref Troy, and I'm thinking, Ref Troy, come here. Look, and this is me talking as the boss, not as RIP. And I said to him, look, in this lumberjack match, the referees are supposed to participate in the beatdown. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, even though you're reffing the match, Troy, you've got to participate in the beatdown. He's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, man. So, make sure you hit hard or, the wrestlers are going to be pissed at you otherwise. And so Ref Troy's like, oh, shit, okay. And so he's reffing the match. Scorn gets thrown out of the ring. And so Ref Troy, even though he's in the middle of the ring reffing the match, he's thinking, oh, this is my time to also help the other wrestlers, other lumberjacks beat down Scorn. So he darts out of the ring, comes over to Scorn and just starts stomping him on the ground.
Why did it have to be Scorn?
Yeah, it had to be Scorn. And Scorn gets up and he gets back in the ring and he's just looking around confused. Like, why did Ref Troy just shoot fight me on a show?
It's okay if you don't, but if you have a recording of that.
Oh, actually, I think we do. Yeah, and the fans in the audience are like, what the fuck is this ref doing? And it was just hilarious. And for me, managing at the time, being RIP, because I didn't have my meds, so I was RIP. And I was at ringside just going, like, breaking. I had tears in my eyes of laughter. That is definitely not a favorite moment of my career. It's probably not even in the top 10, but I guess it kind of shows there's other sides to the business. You can have a laugh. And it was funny when those two got backstage, Scorn and Troy, because Scorn just goes, what the hell was that? Like, what's going on? And Troy's like, what? I thought I did a really good job. Oh, so good. Anyway, but yeah, that's the joking side of wrestling. I love to have a laugh. And, these guys are my family. There was a time where I was spending more time with them than my actual family at home, which I've worked on, and that's not the case anymore. But you become really close with these people. So, yeah, there's a funny side to things. But I think moments, I think my top moment is the memorial match with Cruz. There is a video on YouTube. It kind of captures the events of that day because so much stuff happened. But it was basically a tribute match. It was myself versus Cruz for the Hawk Memorial Trophy. And it was a very, very emotional match. I wrapped myself in barbed wire as a tribute to Hawk because that's what he used to do. Headed to the ring and took on Cruz. Cruz and I have always hurt each other. I usually end up worse for wear, but yeah, we've always, I guess, as brothers, you hit each other for real and like real. And like he's broken my nose, he's black eyes, all that sort of stuff. And anyway, we have this match, and the first thing he does is he hits me with a chair. The metal part of the chair completely scalps me, so I'm just pissing blood. And it was the first move of the match. And in the footage, you actually see like a little spiral like fountain come out of my head. Yeah, it was bad. Anyway,
did you think you were Mick Foley?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be. I think Cruz made me Foley for a second. But anyway, we had the match, and I was concussed severely. Like, I had no idea what was going on. But Cruz just said, "Look, let's go home. Let's finish the match." And I said, "No, f you." And I'd punch him, and he'd punch me, and it turned into a real sibling fight in the match. And I think it sounds sick, but I think Hawk would have loved that because
Honestly, by the photos I've seen,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was still wrestling, and it still had some really cool stuff in it. But it was drama, and everyone knew it had a lot of high stakes. Anyway, to my favorite moment, I just took a spear off a ladder through a table, and he beats me. Funny thing about that spear though is in the air I twisted, so I actually cross-bodied him in the air and landed on top of him.
Yeah.
So even though he pinned me, I really had the better part of the bump because I flattened him. But anyway, end of the match, I lose. Cruz is celebrating. I get up. I'm about to hit him with a chair. Cruz is already bawling his eyes out under his mask because Hawk's presence is there. And I'm about to hit him, and he comes in for a hug. And he gave me a hug. This wasn't anything talked about before the match. It was just, yeah, in the moment. And he hugged me, and he is sobbing. Like, he is really upset. And then I just dropped the chair and hugged him back. And it was a really nice moment. I hope Hawk saw that because he would have loved it, and we felt him with us that match. So that is definitely my favorite moment. Yeah.
I think that's the most detailed and best answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds just amazing if you were even there. And you said there's a video?
Yeah, there's a video. It basically talks of the events of what happened that day and what brought it to happen. It's on our IPW Australia YouTube page.
Okay.
Yeah, and the full match is on there as well. The match is cool, but I don't remember anything because I was, yeah, my pupils were like this big after the match. I was off my head. So
If I find the match, you'll probably see a little video down there.
yeah, cool.
And
Yeah,
last time we spoke, I asked wrestlers to keep an eye on, and we talked about Eugenie, Toa, and Ethan Shea. I remember you
yeah,
said she was WrestleMania material. Toa was the most over. Like, if you were in the car park, you could hear this type of chants.
yeah.
And Ethan Shea underestimates himself.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ethan Shea doesn't know how good he's got it. Like, meaning he's got a real gift with connecting to the fans, even as an Eshe, because we know that Eshe is really the bottom of civilization. But he isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Eshes are definitely not great. But Ethan Shea is our Eshe, and we love him. And he has a real connection to our fan base, and he's going to do some amazing things. I think the Mutt, he's another guy. You wouldn't look at him twice. You know, he's a smaller guy, but when he gets in the ring, he wrestles mean. He wrestles hard. Yeah, his aerial maneuvers are excellent. He's got a lot of potential, and he's been putting on some really good matches. So he's another one to definitely
I can't
watch.
wait for his cashing in the bell.
Yeah, I don't know when he's going to do that because,
Well, Sledgehammer's champion.
yeah, well, I think he'd be too scared. I don't know with Sledge, but
Maybe an attempt.
yeah, maybe attempt. I don't know. I don't know how you'd keep Sledge down. I remember just freestyle wrestling with Sledge. This is when he was a lot bigger, but I tried to double leg him and take him down, and he just flattened me. He just took me out. That kid is incredibly strong. So
It's impressive how he's like just evolved.
yeah, Sledge has definitely put in the work. And the story with Sledge is he was supposed to win the title back in 2017. I remember talking to him on the phone and saying, I really want to see you as champion. Now that I'm running things, I really want to. And anyway, he calls me one day. I'm driving home from work and he says, look, Rip, I've got to have some time away. I'm sorry. And I'm like, you're kidding. Like, you're so talented. You've got such a presence. We've put you over so well on our shows. And he's like, nah, I've got to have some time away. And I'm like, shit. So he went away for 5 years. And God, I missed him because he was such a talent. But then he's come back and it's like he's never left. No one made a big deal when he came back. It was literally backstage, that is. Everyone was just like, oh, hey, Sledge. It's like he's always been there. And then when he goes out to the crowd, he gets that connection. And he's been putting on the best matches of his career right now. And I'm so proud of him. He's come a long way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Our new champ, Sledge, he's best.
And Toa.
Eugenie, Toa, look, they're meant for WWE. They're meant for AEW. Whatever they choose to pursue, they're gonna do so well with their wrestling careers.
And they're like so good in the ring, on the mic, and they're just nice people. What I've met them, like you said, Ethan Shea has such a good connection with the fans. I did talk about this on a previous video that I was walking to the op shop.
Yeah.
Away from my family, and I'm just walking, and I just hear, "Hey, Joe!" And I'm just like, oh, maybe like somebody from public school or something, from primary school, and I just hear Auzzielegends. I'm like, what? So I just turn around and see Ethan Shea half body out the car.
Ah, yeah, awesome.
Go over there.
Awesome. Yeah, Ethan Shea, I literally said to him at training one day, I'm like, mate, you're a draw. I should advertise you on a billboard or something because he's just such a sweet guy. He's just a good person. People want to be around those sort of people. I think the things with wrestling gyms is we have this stigma that we're all arrogant and up ourselves and just want to get our shit in. But that doesn't have to be the case with running a wrestling gym. We can be welcoming, we can be warm and kind, but at the same time, you've got to be a hard ass, especially the coaches, but it doesn't mean that people can't be warm and kind to each other. And Eshe's a good example. Toa, Eugenie, all such good people, except for Chad. Yeah, Chad's a dick.
I'll give it to him. He did an interview with me, but yeah.
Yeah. You're lucky, man. You're really lucky. I think because you're the Aussie legend, that's the only way you got that interview, because Chad has a terrible social media background of just being a real troll. So, yeah, good job on that interview.
And also, Young Rock, were you on that?
Yes, I was.
I knew it.
Yes. That was an awesome experience. I was in season 1 and 2. So I was in the background for a lot of season 1, just in a whole bunch of scenes, which was crazy.
And you got choked out by The Rock?
Yeah, I got choked on the ropes by the... Oh, no, sorry.
Younger version.
Yeah, I choked...
Yeah, you choked him, sorry.
Yeah, I choked The Rock, yeah. And I'm in this... I guess more revealing than lingerie, whatever I'm wearing. It was like a gimp suit, I don't know, but yeah, I was in a very revealing outfit, very similar to Bastion Booger. And anyway, yeah, so I choked The Rock out, and that was awesome. The best part was the week before we had an abandoned set, like everything got delayed, so we were on a set and it was just me and Chavo Guerrero. There were only 2 people there, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm with this legend, and I've got him to myself. And so he just said to me in conversation, he's like, do you want to get in there and wrestle? And I'm like, absolutely. And so we got in the ring, and the ring's surrounded by a green screen at Movie World. And we wrestle, and we just do basic chaining and everything. And it was really cool. He gave me a snapmare, and I flipped right away for him, and he was really happy with that because he didn't call it. So there was some really cool moments. I remember one thing I regret, though, just my footwork on one side headlock when I was training with him was just a little bit off. And Chavo's such a pro; he could sense that from like a mile away. So I bet you he saw it, but he didn't say anything. He said, "Awesome to work with you, man. That's great. We'll make sure you get a scene." Blah blah blah, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's amazing.
yeah,
And
it was so cool to have that attention.
I remember seeing like a post from like I forget it was Zeke or Bojack, and I saw like I was on the show. I was like, wonder if there was any others. So I went back on the episode. I'm like seeing you. I'm seeing him and Yeet Stevenson. Just a bunch of people. I was just noticing for the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah. So I was an assistant casting agent for that as well. So I cast BoJack. I cast Zeke. Who else was there? BoJack, when he was on it, he took a back body drop.
Yeah,
What they don't tell you behind the scenes is after he did that back body drop, he got a standing ovation on the set. Like everyone stood up and clapped because he got so high. He was at least 8 feet in the air, and he took that flip. And it was just a standing ovation. And then Bojack and I both got messaged by Chavo the next day saying what an awesome job we did, because I found Bojack and Bojack did what he did, and he stole the show. He did excellent.
yeah, it's awesome hearing both of your stories of that event.
Yeah,
And we've sort of talked about it, but like the environment has changed in IPW. Is that right?
yeah, absolutely, especially at Dreamworld. Yeah.
Like, is it more welcoming than it was?
Oh no, we
Talent?
never were the type where it was
Yeah,
we're
that's
not
fair.
welcoming, but I think uh, it's definitely, I think people change. Um, the type of people that do wrestling now aren't the same type of people who were doing it 17 years ago. But in saying that, I think it's still kept its family values. You know, we all get together at Christmas time. We all know each other by first name basis. It's not like we're all cold and distant to each other. We're all very close. I talk to them all the time. So I think I'm really proud that we maintain that, because there've been times where it's nearly all gone to shit. Like
Yeah.
when Hawk wanted to close, or
COVID.
COVID was terrible. COVID nearly killed us. So that was terrible. But with culture, they're a group, because they're just such kind people. They're great for backstage morale.
Yeah,
But I think all of us bring something different to the IPW family.
that's awesome. And do you have any people in mind to make debuts or return to IPW?
We've got Brad Castle. He debuted in at our Lucha event. He had a match with Benny Lava,
Yeah,
I think. Anyway, he wrestled someone else. I can't remember. I think he wrestled Kiwi Thriller. Yeah, he did really well, and he's definitely one to watch. Brad Castle. He's just had a child, so he's just had a son, Joey. Congratulations, Brad. So he's just spending a little time with the little fella, and then he should be back at it, and he'll be making his return to IPW very soon. Then we've got the likes of Rowan, who also debuted at the Lucha event, and because for that event we had 800 people standing watching us. It was incredible, so fun.
And would that be the
Um,
biggest attendance?
well, look,
Huge.
because it's a bit different because
Was
we
that
were
summer?
literally in the middle of the markets, so they weren't attending just for the wrestling. So I think a lot of people said to me, "You should say that they're attending IPW and take the credit." And I'm like, "No, I'm not that dodgy promoter. I'm not going to do that." But I am going to say we performed in front of 800 people because we did,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that was awesome. But yeah, Rowan, he comes from a background of Greco Roman wrestling, so he did that all through high school. He's an incredible athlete, and Chad Atlas has taken him under his wing a little bit to coach him, and he's done a great job. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on shows, and yeah. There's definitely more to come, but I'm not the type to reveal my tricks to anyone yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I could get any returns.
Yeah, no, that's okay. There's definitely some coming back though.
Yep. And another question. I did my research and I found out that IPW did collaborate with WCW and MIW in 2011.
So
That
no, WCW and MIW
was the
were
same.
IPW,
Yeah, they were the
the
same
same.
type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
we were partners with IPW New Zealand. We were very
yeah,
good friends with them, and we still are. And because we were flying over there to New Zealand regularly to wrestle for them, it just kind of turned into let's be IPW Australia, you can be IPW New Zealand. Yeah, and so that's where the name change came from. But yeah, WCW
was the
um,
original.
was the original, yeah. So that was a carry on from the old WCW shows in the 80s um, at Festival Hall and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
would you do a collaboration with another company's separate? Like there's a couple of ones in Brisbane. I know a company is very close to IPW.
Yeah, I'm always open to collaboration. It's just, you've got to, I think you've got to establish common ground. And that can always be difficult because everyone's got different directions that they're heading. And also with me, I've also got, my friendship with uh, Dreamworld and the Gold Coast Titans that I've got to consider as well. But in saying that, I will say there's definitely companies out there that I'd love to collaborate, like PWA in Sydney or MCW in Melbourne are two awesome companies. Riot City Wrestling doing some awesome stuff. Who knows who we could end up collaborating with?
IPW. And
Yeah,
they have some good talent over there. And
yeah.
but are you going to return to Gold Coast Titans? Is that in the talks?
Look, I can't say yes or no, but
Yeah,
okay. So look, it's highly likely, and look, you'll have to wait and see. I can't say any more, but yeah, look, it's definitely potentially on the table.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I remember trying to go to that show, trying to convince, saying, "Hey, me and my brother love Titans and wrestling. Let's do this."
yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
you're in Perth, yeah?
No, Bundaberg. Same time,
Bundaberg. Oh, that's
5 hours
completely
away.
different to Perth. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, cool.
a little
Bundaberg,
bit
right?
littler.
Yeah, a bit littler.
But
Okay,
yeah, it's awesome. Like for Christmas, my parents drove me out to watch Santa Rumble, and
that's
it's the
awesome.
best. Like
Yeah,
got all of their signatures. I got to make the poster.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we really appreciate the support, man, and you got some awesome parents. If you know that they did that for you, that's cool.
yeah. I feel like in this moment of the video, my dad's calling me in to the room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, it's awesome. Like when IPW was thinking about shutting down, that's when I really did start. Um, I remember I made the Pirate King and Jesse Love and CJ. They were the
Yep,
first three.
yep.
So
Oh, I can't remember the Pirate King one. I'll have to check that one out.
Because I brought like a 10-minute long video of every wrestler I made in 2K19.
Yeah.
But when I brought it, I didn't know the app needed internet, so it crashed.
Yep.
And I was just talking to him after he did commentating, and he just said, "Do you have any social media?" And I said, "Oh, I have Instagram, but I never use it." He's like, "Oh, if
Yeah.
that's okay, just post it there." And he got
Mm.
Jesse Love over, and we talked about it. And the next day, I posted it. That's how it just begun.
Yeah. Awesome. Like, do you talk to many of the guys in IPW?
Um, Not like regularly, but I get contacted. Like Pirate King asked for a request 2 days ago, but I already made it, so I can't
Ah,
talk to
look,
him.
see, that's
Gotcha.
why we love you, man.
Yeah.
Your content.
And
Yes.
like a bunch of other wrestlers, like Ethan Shea is always nice. I can't list them all because some of them wouldn't be talking to the fans.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Because I do
right.
have a list in my head, but I shouldn't say the names.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Well, look, mate, you're part of the family, so if you were around, you'd be on the staff, mate. We'd kidnap you. You wouldn't have a choice. You'd be sworn into the La Cosa Nostra, our family.
I do have some ideas that I was
Yeah.
fine
Oh,
with.
let's talk, bro.
Awesome. Before we end this, do you want to advertise anything? Like
Uh,
shows, merch, socials?
yeah. So we have a show, Ladder Wars, coming up on the 22nd of February. So just this past show, Zeke Andino challenged EC Diamond to defend the title in a ladder match, the unified title in a ladder match. So that is going to be crazy. I can't believe they're doing it. Um, Especially like with the talent that these two have, that all that talent could go down the shitter if they get hurt in this ladder match. So, look, I'm worried for them, but also I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do in this match because they went 60 minutes.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's the
historic.
longest match. Yeah,
Longest match in Gold Coast history,
right.
yes. So yeah, incredible, and they did so well too. Like, have you watched that match?
Yes.
It's amazing. They did excellent. Yeah, and I'm not just tooting my own horn. Like in wrestling terms, like that's an excellent match. So I'm very proud of them. So I'm looking forward to what they do at Ladder Wars. And I believe Sledgehammer's making his first defense. So that's going to be excellent. I believe Toa's returning to action. Yeah, because he made a shocking interference when in Sledgehammer versus Chad. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'll be probably on my phone looking at people's stories.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're a proper journalist, mate.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. I think with Ladder Wars coming up, uh, who knows what could happen with Sledgehammer's title reign, with Toa in the mix. Like Toa's been so close to the title so many times. When is he gonna get it?
Yeah,
So
I remember walking into Santa Rumble. I'm like, okay, Sledgehammer's gonna win it. And then after that cheating with Chad,
yeah,
I was like, oh no, Toa's gonna win.
yeah. Well, look, mate, that was me backstage. I was like, "Oh, Toa's going to win. No, Sledge is going to win. What's happening?" Like, it was crazy, man. And again, 100% real. It was chaos.
You can see like the fans are loyal. Like they recognized Jesse Love's music. They recognized CJ's music when it hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was crazy, and so glad we've got the guys that we've got because all these people that you see on these shows, they're not just filler. They're quality wrestlers for one. They're also people that we want in our close family in IPW, and they're just people that I want to see every day. They're people I want to work with. And so I'm really happy with all of them. This is the first time. So this is, I think, my 18th year in wrestling. This is the first time I've ever been completely comfortable in my role, because I trust these guys so much, and I'm so happy with the situation that we have. So that's a real credit to the roster.
No.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing this interview, legend.
No worries, man. And look, I'd love to do this again with you. You are an absolute legend yourself. You're an Aussie legend, and what you do on Instagram and all that shit is just excellent. So I couldn't be happier to help you out, man, and do this with you. And I'm looking forward to doing it again soon. Okay.
Hopefully, I can send you that idea I was thinking of.
Absolutely, man. Send it through. I'm always open to things. But yeah, again, I'm just happy to see that you're still, a loyal IPW fan, and yeah, supporting us.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, brother. Take it easy.
See ya.
See ya. Is that cool?
Yep. So,
Man, I don't want to look like a slob. Holy shit. Okay.
I would delete this recording.
Oh, are you recording now? Oh, we'll put it in as a blooper at the end. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've made it this far through the video, I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was so much fun filming it and writing up the questions and even talking to him. And on that note, I want to thank IPW and RIP for giving me this awesome chance, and it was so much fun. I hope we can do it again in the future. And check out all their matches like Ladder Wars, Santa Rumble, and check out my interviews with Chad Atlas, Ethan Shea, Bojack, next week LFB, and I got much more booked in, but you just have to wait for the announcements. I hope everybody enjoys your day, and have a good one.